screens.
Testing. I don't know, can somebody, yeah, ask David check.
Let me see. I should shift the lead. Okay, cool. We send request to join. Request to join. Why must we request to join? Request to be in this. You can watch it and some of your followers will get new things. Oh, send request. Share video. How to share? Okay. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome back. Is the YouTube one on the camera? Like no light. It's on.
The TikTok one, yeah, TikTok is okay.
TikTok is okay, huh?
Yeah.
TikTok. So we are live on TikTok, YouTube, and
Cannot say.
oh yeah, cannot say. TikTok. We are live on all platforms. Okay. So welcome everyone. Without further ado, right? Welcome back. Right. Today we have Vic joining us.
Hi everybody.
Okay. And let's get started. And I wanted to start off first with this very interesting article. So for those of you who follow the news, you are aware that we have this big plot of land right here, okay? Right beside the Botanic Gardens. And if you drive down Holland Road going towards Dempsey Hill, you will always notice that on the right side after you pass by Botanic Gardens, right? That there's this big piece of land that is overgrown and everything, and it actually belongs to the Johor of Sultan, the Sultan of Johor, okay, and they did a very interesting deal. Singapore and Malaysia, we have a history of swapping land. It started first with the rail corridor. When we wanted to take the rail corridor back, we swapped that land for the Marina One, right? What we have at Marina One is also what we have at Duo Residences right now, right? Those lands were swapped with the Malaysian government. This time around, we swapped land with the Sultan of Johor. I think it's legacy that they used to own all those land and it gets all passed down. And now they are holding on to it, right? Humongous piece of land, I believe. I don't think they really talked about how much the lands are actually valued at. I think there's some desktop valuations valuing it at a couple of billion dollars, definitely in excess of $1 billion. Right? So what they did, I mean, the whole story about swapping is quite interesting, but the actual location doesn't really, it's not much. It's like A swap with C, so just like kind of swapping it around, yeah? And that has kind of opened up the conversation and the discussion as to what's the best use of land, best use for this piece of land now that we have swapped it over from the Malaysian government or the Sultan of Johor, okay? So, in this particular article, right, we have from the Straits Times, the journalist was sharing with a couple of different ideas such as public housing. In here, they are saying HDB has built eye-catching high-rise developments such as Pinnacle at Duxton, Skyview at Dawson. So he was kind of toying with the idea of the possibility of having low-rise apartments in Holland Road to expand the choices of public housing in Singapore. But to be fair, TikTok mic not working.
Which one is that?
Test.
The DJI, right? Testing.
Cannot. Hold on. Pardon us for the technical difficulties.
Let's figure this out ASAP.
Does the thing move? Test. It moves. Means it's not linked to the phone. Yeah.
Maybe you plug out and plug in again.
Yeah.
Testing. Yeah, meanwhile, do help us to like and share our video if you'd like to see us back every week.
Yeah, to offer us a little bit. Okay, audio is back on TikTok now. Oh, for the folks on IG, audio is okay, Yeah, if you don't have the audio, please let us know.
Yeah, put it in the comments so
Yeah,
we
put it in the
know.
comments. Or if you have any questions, be it HDB, this is a HDB centric live session, okay? But actually, we are happy to take any questions that you guys might have, okay? Maybe we'll just continue while we figure out what we have on the issue with regards to it on thing. If cannot, why don't we off and on? How about we off on? No, this link to there is no issue, correct?
Correct.
Because there's the.
Try to turn it off now.
We turn off.
Yeah.
Press and hold.
Yeah.
Okay, it's off.
Okay.
Off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn it back on now.
Turn on.
Yeah.
Testing.
Test. Don't have.
Both mics cannot.
Both mics cannot. Okay. All take out and plug back in and let the thing restart . Yeah, you pass it back. Come, Andrew, it's okay. Come and take it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll just continue. We'll just continue on the other platforms first while we figure TikTok out. If not, TikTok should still be able to hear us just a bit echoey while we figure this out. Now let's come back to it, okay? So I personally think the chances of this happening is close to zero. We personally think that the chances of this happening is close to zero. Why? Right? Because it doesn't make sense for HDB to build low-rise HDB flats. The trend that you see HDB building is taller and taller and taller. Right? Right now, what they built Clementi, all those McNair, Central, all those generally is very, very tall one. The shortest one probably in Tampines, also at least like 17, 18 floors. You spend all that money, you have such a low-rise one, it's such a good location, the supply is going to be so little, it's going to be so overly subscribed. It's not, in my opinion, the best use of this piece of land, especially considering that it's beside the botanic gardens. I personally feel it would be the most interesting way. Putting in residential, not the most interesting also, because you sell the piece of land, out, it will have to be a 99-year piece of land. Then 1.4 plot ratio, as you can see, based on the master plan. Because the surrounding ones are all 1.4 plot ratio . And considering that we are going to be right beside the botanic gardens, national park, there's no way this will be higher than 1.4. Right? So any use in terms of commercial, you are talking about commercial viability, like maximizing the profits from this piece of land. I think it's not going to be in the government's direction. I mean, they
for
make
HDBs.
Yeah, especially not for HDBs. And I also don't even think it will be for condos. Okay, so most likely it will be something that complements the botanic gardens, right? I for one would be very happy if the government expands the botanic gardens to absorb this particular piece of land, or have some commercial use to supplement it. But coming to this point on the potential for HDB flats to appear right beside the botanic gardens and beside Gallop Road, Nasim, the chances, in my opinion, close to zero. Okay. Now that we have gotten our thoughts on this out of the way, let's come back down to the topic proper. Okay. So last week we covered 2 HDB towns, right?
Yeah. Queensway and Tampines.
Queenstown, right?
Queenstown,
and
yes,
Tampines, right?
yes.
We shared some of the data points, and then we also dived into offering value, right? Where we find in these towns offer good value. Okay. Oh, so the audio works now. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Right. Sorry for the technical difficulties, especially for those of you tuning in on TikTok. Now that the audio is back, okay? You haven't missed much because we were just talking about this particular article. Now then we start to talk about the data and the trends proper, okay? So let's get started. And we want to start first with Sengkang, okay? We put it down here for everybody's viewing sake. Okay, I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. So all these are updated prices based on June transactions, okay? And we are starting first off with Sengkang. So if you are looking at Sengkang, be it you are a seller or a buyer, okay, the median prices for 3-room flats in Sengkang right now stands at $515,000. The highest price transacted in Sengkang in June is $538,000. So you are talking about $15,000 difference between the highest price and the median price. Quite a narrow gap. This is usually what you find in slightly further out areas, because the lease of all these flats, while they may differ, they don't differ as much as what you get in Queenstown, where you get a 5-year-old one versus a 40-year-old one. So the gaps is a lot narrower. Moving on, we have 4-room flats. This is where the gap starts to widen, okay? Because 4-room flats, we have the newer generation that is also quite a fair bit nicer than the older generation one, right? Sengkang area. I don't think Sengkang area has any of the 4-room corridor style units, but in terms of the tenure, Sengkang now, last time Sengkang very ulu, considered a new town, but now Sengkang is considered quite a mature town. I call it semi-mature town already. So median prices stand at 635,000, okay, and it's due to Sengkang's size, the price difference between, at the corner end, nearer to Jalan Kayu side versus right smack in the middle of Sengkang can differ and deviate by a lot as well. As we can see over here, the highest price, $875,000, okay? 5-room in Sengkang, we have question on TikTok. Keep the questions coming, right? We will try to answer as promptly as we can.
Okay. Coming in from AT-Pin02. He says SRX indicate my flat at 685.
So AT-Pin, could you give us more details if you would like us to check? Okay. Yeah. Maybe you can offer us some more details and we could check it for you.
At Sengkang.
Oh. Sengkang where? So what we'll do, we'll go into that area. So SRXX value, anyone check, should be about the same, right? So it's more of if you give us the exact address, we will use Property Guru, go in and we'll try to share with you where we feel.
4-room or 5.
Yeah, maybe just
okay,
the road
the address already.
Okay, you have Okay. So while Vic is finding, I'm going to continue. Okay. It's a 80-pin. It's 685,000. I suppose it's a 4-room Yeah. So let Vic go and find Okay. 5-room flats. Surprisingly, look at this. And we are talking about Sengkang. Very interesting trend. Median prices for 4-room 635, highest price 875. But for 5-room, median price just $30,000 more for Sengkang, 665. Okay, highest price 768,000. Okay. So it's quite interesting. We won't dive into the data proper, but all this is we have put out the data from public portals. If you'd like to take a look at them, we're happy to send it to you. Any questions, put it down into the comments, put it down in the chat. We'll answer them for you, right? We're talking about executive flats, okay? Median prices, 808,000. Highest price, 950,000. Okay. Now, if we want to talk about the answer AT-Pin's question, Fernville, 4-room.
Okay, so right here, we've seen based on 80 spin address, we have 4 units for sale.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than this outlier that's selling at 590, the rest is 680, 650.
590 I suspect got ethnic quota. Sold by my friend Heikel. Yeah. I suspect it has ethnic quota. Maybe you can open up in a tab. Yeah. So usually when you have outliers like that, usually it's subjected to ethnic quota. Return anywhere. No, he didn't indicate it, but I do suspect, right? But of course, to answer your question, it seems like the range is about there. 685, people are asking in the range of 650, 650, those two are the same unit. It may all be the same, no, this is a different unit. 668, but this one low floor, looks like it's low floor to me. Yeah. So if you are on I suppose yours is on a slightly higher floor lah. If it's on a slightly higher floor, then 685 I believe is very reasonable. Yeah, hope I answered your question. So while Vic is answering another, we'll go and find your other area, EA, from Godzilla Lizard on YouTube. Okay, let me go to YouTube. Keep your questions coming, right? We always, that's the reason why we do live videos, to answer your questions live. Oh, yes. Okay. Compassville Drive 5 room. Let me try to find.
Godzilla one, his address, no other units asking.
Go into the surrounding area. Hougang, 564, quite familiar. Never mind, you go to Compassville Drive, I'll find this.
Okay.
For Godzilla Lizard, level 10 EA. The area shouldn't have a lot, so let me help you in another manner. I will help you see whether got large transacted, okay? Let me see the TikTok one first. 530 564. Give us a minute, EA, June 20, quite long ago. 2 years, nobody sell the house already. Let me see, nearby, nearby. Wow, nearby, you got 560 Hougang. Oh, we sold 560 Hougang. 2 years, 2 years back.
Sold 513.
560, block 5, no, 513 meh? I thought it's 560. I think it was 560. 560 Hougang. 560 Hougang. But that one was no. Because this one only got executive.
We sell is a 5 room.
5 room, right? Wow. So 560 Hougang got hit 1.06 million. But the rest of them hovers between, you are saying you are level 10, right? Level 10, I believe you should be able to fetch 900 to 1 mil. I believe you should fetch between 900 to 1 mil. Let's see if anyone is selling. Vic will answer.
Coming from YouTube.
Don't say the channel. Coming from the red platform.
Home Hope. So you're asking Compassville Drive 5 room flat. The range asking from about 700,000 to, we have all the way until 1 mil, 1.2 mil. 5 room. So depends on like your floor level, whether your unit is renovated. Let's see. So the range very big.
The range is quite big, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. Compassville Drive, 5-room, right?
Like 700K to 1 point, almost
Wow.
1.2.
We have a huge range, huh? Let's see why, huh? This one, the tenure built 2016, the cheapest one? Yeah. So the difference comes in the tenure lah. So Home Hope, if you want to have our advice on something a little bit more detailed, maybe you let us know lah, when was it built, or maybe maybe if you tell us when was it built, we could roughly guess which block. Okay. Now to help Godzilla Lizard, what I did is this. Okay. So all this without. So we have past transacted. Next up, we look at asking prices. Okay. So I just zoomed in lah to basically near to Hougang MRT. 18 executive apartments for sale, right? Sort from cheapest to highest lah. So the cheapest one right now, 1.08 million, all the way up. The 800 series is a bit more expensive, asking for 1.2, because I believe the 800 series is slightly younger. Okay, because the 500 series are 1987, and the 800 series is 1992. 1992, the 800 series, it's 1990 to 1992 lah. Okay, so Godzilla Lizard above $1 million, you can try. Okay.
One more coming in from the
Eddie.
Red app.
Oh, very good question. Okay, Eddie. Couple of questions. Okay, let me answer. You search this one. Okay.
Okay.
Should I wait for 15 months wait rule to be removed before I sell my HDB point block? Excellent question, right? I believe. I think this was the very first live that we did. We talked about the.
Square meters.
4 bedrooms, right? Should be 5. Okay. Bedok,
Yeah. Bedok North, Avenue 4.
Bedok North. Oh, we're back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Eddie, don't worry, we are coming back to you right now.
Yes, hi Eddie, sorry for the technical difficulties. So coming back to your question, really depends, okay? If you are looking to upgrade, I would say don't wait, because the only reason why the government will remove the rule, right, is because the prices have come off. That's why they remove the rule. So while they remove the rule, you may get a little bit more people coming in to buy. The risk is higher, okay, that your price will come off. It will likely have come off, maybe extra people come in, then the price balance off a little bit. But simply put it, you stand to lose, there's more to lose than to gain for waiting for these 15 months, all in all, okay? But of course, if you're not looking to upgrade, because if you are looking to upgrade into a private, likely when that happens, private prices will move up, would have moved up, okay? But if you're looking to right size, you are like, you know what? Because if, let's say you're right sizing to a smaller HDB, if the smaller HDB, the price fall off, yours is on you're a bigger unit, and maybe since you're a bigger unit, the 15 months wait out will help you because a lot of people don't have to wait so long to buy a 5-room. That will help you, then you can wait. No harm waiting, right? So it really depends on what you're hoping to move. Okay, repeat again. Ken, no worries. But I think I just more or less summarized it.
Yeah.
Upgrading, don't wait. Right sizing, can wait. No harm waiting. Okay? Hopefully I answered that question for you. So if you're talking about selling your house, Bedok North, right?
Yes.
Bedok North. Let me see. Bedok North exactly where? Bedok North where?
Avenue 4.
Bedok North Avenue 4.
Yep, upgrading.
Wait. You're upgrading. Upgrading, then suggest you don't wait, Eddie. Yeah, I would suggest you don't wait. Avenue.
I don't know, there's still got units left. Like a lot of units left.
Where?
Orel.
Orel? Oh, so you already got a unit at Orel, huh? Have you already gotten a unit at Orel? Because it's fully sold. If you have already gotten a unit and you already choked the unit there, if you have a deferred payment scheme, then you just wait until you wait until TOP, then you collect key, then you sell.
Yeah, within 6 months.
Yeah, no harm. I mean, no point you go out and rent. So let's say you are at Bedok North area, Fengshan there, below the PIE. I'm trying to tally with the location. Below the PIE here. Wow, you got not much people selling. Bedok North. Here. Chai Chi that side. Chai Chi that side. Let's see. Wow. How old is your flat? Generally, looks like a lot of them are quite old. Yeah, chop. Yeah, okay, so Eddie, if you already chop through DPS, then personally, I think I wouldn't sell because you already locked in your price of your purchase already. So you're not scared to be priced out. That gap is fixed already, right? So, but now the problem is if you are looking to sell, you have to go out into rent while waiting for it to TOP. That one is even more sunk cost. So for your particular situation, then I say just hold out all the way until you collect key. It doesn't make sense for you to sell and go out and incur rental because your rental is already stuck in already. Be it go up, go down, your rental is stuck in. No point. I wouldn't sell if I were you. I would just
Was
wait.
it you're worried about the remaining lease because you said it's 33 years already?
No, I wouldn't be overly worried about it, especially I think it's 2.5 years gonna TOP. Not so bad lah. I mean the prices is not like it's super duper high at this point in time. Let's say 700 over 1,000 you drop 5%, it's okay lah. Anyway, your Orel will make a lot more than this. So don't stress about it. Right? You go and sell already, you have to go and rent and everything. More stress lah. Just wait until you TOP, then you sell. Okay? Anyway, congratulations on getting Orel. The one very lucky.
Oh, he said no need to rent, can stay.
Okay, stay at mother-in-law house. Then sell Then sell no harm Then just sell. Okay? Yeah, if you don't have the sunk cost on that, you can just sell. Where else to look at? Oh, no,
good?
We are done. We are good. Okay, Eddie. Thanks for your questions and interactions. If you can stay mother-in-law, good Okay.
TikTok coming in one more. Let's see. This one.
Changi or Pasir Ris better? In what sense? And Changi where? Changi not a lot of HDB one unless you say Changi Village, there the HDB Yeah, maybe can offer us a little bit more context. Afan, just for short. Okay. Yeah. While he or she is replying us, we'll move on. Okay. So moving on, right, what we want to talk about, right, so that we still cover what we want to cover today, because I've got some case studies later to share with everybody also. We want to talk about where is good value for money in Sengkang, okay? This one Vic will share more with us. So, you know, those of you watching a lot, some are, a good percentage are buyers as well. Even sellers, you'll also be interested to know, right, where has the highest transactions, where are interested, yeah? Please do help us like and share. If you have benefited from this, if you feel the sharing is good, it gives us a bit of motivation to continue doing this every week. We are doing this every week. Today is our 4th time doing it already, I believe. Third time doing it, yeah? Hopefully, you know, we have the momentum to continue going on, continue to value add to everybody. Yeah, if you feel it's good, share, then more people can watch it as well. Okay? Now, Vic.
Yep. So the first area in Sengkang that we think is quite good value for money is the Rivervale Plains area. So if you see, it's this part here, right beside Baku LRT. Oops, too big.
And how we define good value for money is that the average prices in these clusters are lower than the median prices amongst Tampines. Okay?
Sengkang.
Sengkang, sorry. Sengkang.
Yep. So first one will be the Rivervale Plains. So if we look at Guru, we can see there's only actually 5 units up for sale.
Okay.
Starting from 590 all the way to about 630. So not a very big range here, just about 30 to 40k odd difference.
Yeah, but why we feel the Rivervale Plains area is good value for money? Of course, the median prices of 4 rooms in Sengkang hovers about 630,000, right? So as you can see over here, the units are currently calling for about 628,000 negotiable, right? So you're still going to get some discounts off of this. They are not terribly old, not terribly new as well, right? If you're terribly new, if you are very, very new, then of course we won't really classify it as good value for money, like 1998, okay? So you discount a little bit of this, you likely will enter into this area at discount from the median prices in the Sengkang area. Not terribly near the MRT, but relatively mature and plenty of amenities around there. Okay, yeah, let us finish on this part, and then we will come back to you on your questions, okay?
Okay, so the next area that we like to cover in Sengkang is the Anchorvale Place area. So it's just beside Tongkap LRT also.
Yep, so this is also near Nan Chiao High School.
Okay, so we'll look at Guru, 16 units up for sale.
Okay, so the median, so this is an area with good value for money for 5-room HDB. So if you're looking for 5-room HDB in the Sengkang area, Anchorvale Place is good value because the median prices for 5-room in the Sengkang area hovers about 700,000. And if you see over here, we have units going for 630,000, right? The cheapest coming all the way up to about 700 lah. Yeah. About 700. So 700, you get a little bit of discount. You still enter at 600,000 for a 5-room, and not very old lah. I mean, it's 2025. So it's 25 years old, but I think it's still not too bad. Beside the LRT station, okay, and also a lot of amenities around lah. So discount a bit if you can enter at, of course, 650 around there is 50,000 below the median prices for 5-room in the estates, right? So we covered 4-room area, 5-room area. Last one, right? There's also a last one.
Last one at Fernvale Green area. So it's a Fernvale River Grove area, just beside Kupang
MRT.
Yeah.
LRT. Okay, so similarly in this area, right, with median prices 630,000 for 4-room, we are looking at prices below 600,000. Okay, in this area. So currently some of the askings here are quite high, as you can see, quite high because 2015. Scroll down.
But still, but the 600k one is still below the median.
Yeah. Still below the median prices lah. And I think this offers the best value for money if you're looking for a lot younger, because 2015 TOP means it's just 10 years into its lease, and it's very, very close to the median price points, right? As close as you can get to 630,000, the better, right? Even you pay a little bit more, I think it's not too bad as compared to the entire area because of its lease. Because when we take these median numbers, it's across all leases, and Sengkang some can, as you can see, even approaching 30-year lease already, okay? So if we go and analyze the data for younger units, I'm pretty sure Fernvale will score very well if, let's say, we take 10 years and below. Okay, come, let's answer some questions.
Okay, I think he hasn't come back to us. Sorry, wonderful, you said.
No, I don't think.
Yeah,
oh, she said Vic looks like
Huang Xiutian. Sorry,
Huang Xiutian.
Never really watched Medium.
I think.
I will Google it tonight.
Okay, what about Le Quest? Nearby ECs launching a higher PSF than Le Quest. Good question, Alan. Le Quest, honestly, right now, personally, what I think is underpriced. So if you are looking to buy Le Quest, can consider. If you're looking to sell Le Quest, you're not in a hurry, you can wait. Tengah area. After all, if you've already bought it, you bought it at time that really got nothing. Now the only way is up for Le Quest, if you're asking me, right? But if you are looking to upsize your portfolio, progress in terms of your asset, if you do have a little bit of profits over there, you want something a little bit faster, right? Maybe you have to explore some other areas, probably bigger developments to accelerate the capital appreciation for you, right? The Quest will make money, but maybe not so fast, because the transformation is going to take a while, because all you talk about ECs, you talk about HDB, go there, people move in, they still have to serve out their MOP, then they can come out and buy. So it's quite a while, okay? Yeah, that's my best way to answer. Yep. What is your target PSF exit since it will be less than 1 km? Wow, very hard to say leh. It'll be very hard to say, Alan. Yeah, to give you a target PSF.
Yeah, 5 years is a lot of difference.
Yeah, 2030. Very hard to say. Maybe you can let me know you are how many bedrooms? How many bedrooms? 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. The one I can give you potential quantum exits, and give you the reasons why, right? PSF, not so much. Okay. 3 bedroom, 980 square feet. Okay. So how am I going to answer that? So what you want to do is you take some of the new launches, quantums for 980 square feet. I suppose your 980 square feet is very, very close to a 3 premium, right? In that area. The only issue right now, right, in that area, Tengah side, the best new launch you can get is probably somewhere like Sora, which is nearer to the Jurong Lake area. And the Jurong Lake area, 980 square feet, I think now you enter at about 2.1 M. So give or take, that should be ideally your exit price, 2.1. If you want to be aggressive, maybe by 2030, which is 5 years from now, right, 2.3. What I'm telling everybody is RCR 3 premiums, you will hit 3 million by 2030, right? So this is OCR of the OCR. So 3 premiums compact plus study. I don't think it's a compact, it's slightly a slight premium or plus study. 2.2, 2.3, thereabouts. Yeah, all the best, hopefully. Yeah, if Le Quest can hit 2.2, 2.3, I think we'll all be pretty good. Yeah, if you're already holding it, then hold a bit more. After all, you already hold so long already. Yeah, good luck, Alan. Thanks for your question. Okay, coming back to it. We are moving on to value for money units over in Punggol. Okay?
Yep. So have you covered the Punggol transactions?
Oh, no, not yet. Yeah, good point. Come. Punggol transactions for everybody. So please do help us like and share, right? If you found the answers, the interactions, the data that we shared interesting so far, Oh, it will help because every week we need to think of new topic. If you have one area that you hope for us to cover like that, that means there's areas that you're looking to sell, you want to find out what's the median kind of thing, points. Let us know, right? Then we'll share next week, okay? I'm now covering Punggol. Okay, so for the transactions for Punggol in June, so you might see some deviations between the median prices we mentioned here and also whatever we're going to mention later because this is solely for June. The data that we shared for the good value for money one, right, covers a wider range just for more perspective. Right, so 3-room flats, median prices over in Punggol, 510,000. Highest 542,000. Generally, Punggol you will see prices being a little bit higher, right, than Sengkang. So you see Sengkang 515, Punggol 510. This one median is this for June is lower, but most of the time is higher. Okay, but highest Punggol is higher Punggol 542 versus 538. Okay, 4-room flats. Yeah, you have 645,000 all the way up to 800,000, right? For Punggol 4-room flats, we have 5-room flats touching 940. But based on my experience, Punggol flats have already 5-room flats have already cost $1 million. So for in June, the highest fetch is also 940. Now, if you are a seller, how does this impact you? Okay, so June already halfway through June already, nothing above 940,000. So if you are sitting on a higher, those slightly bigger 5 rooms, higher floor 5 rooms, or maybe the loft 5 rooms, probably got to wait for a while more There's the data point so far only hover at about 940, and the median hovers at 648. Now, because I've heard a lot of complaints so far that Punggol units are taking a while to sell. So you have to be price sensitive. Based on our data analysis, there's actually quite a few areas that have seen prices coming off. Later on, if we have time, I'm going to share with you where are some of those places. So if you're owners in those places, maybe you have to be aware of that. Okay. Talking about executive flats, the thing about Punggol, not so many executive flats, so the data is not terribly relevant. Okay. So now with this info already, let's jump over to Vic to share with you where are the value for money clusters.
Yep. So for Punggol, the first one we identified is Venrada at Matera there. So if you can see from one map, it's just beside the river. Okay, so if we go to Guru and see what's on sale.
So why we say that the Veranda at Matilda offers good value for money? It's one of the newer flats, right?
2017.
2017, so about 8 years old. The median prices for 5 rooms, Punggol 850,000. We see some prices over here very, very close or below 800,000. Okay.
Yeah. So we can explore those at Sumang Lane.
Yes, Sumang. Lots of supply. Vic, you can see. Right, you scroll up to see the amount of supply.
No, but this is for 5 rooms. So 5 room, only 6 units for sale.
Still not too bad. Still not too bad. Yeah. 6 units for sale, but you can see in terms of your pricing those that are priced below 800,000, I think you are being very, very fair. Just got to wait for a while, right? If you're one of the sellers, if you're a buyer, under 800,000 can take already, right? Already below median prices within the Matilda area.
This is for 5 room flats.
Yes, 5 room flats, right? Median in Punggol 850,000. So great value for money as it is already. Okay.
Okay, the next one.
Talking about 4 room.
4 room. We are going to Waterway Terrace.
Right, I think if you are an owner, buyer in Punggol, Waterway Terrace will be a very popular option. Yeah, because of its proximity to Waterway Point, right? So despite that, right, despite its good location, and amenities, it still offers good value for money. Why? Because the median prices in Punggol for 4 rooms hovers at about 720,000, right? And we can actually find units over there, 4 rooms, 630. This one is exceedingly cheap, but it might have already been sold. But yeah, we are looking at something closer to under 680,000 that represents great value for money. Even actually under 720 lah. We consider it good value already because 720 is the median prices for 4 rooms over in Punggol. Yeah, excellent location because it's walking distance to the MRT, and you know, give it some time. Okay. I do expect prices over here. The only annoying thing that people don't like is the balcony. This odd thing for waterway terraces. That's the only thing people find annoying. And when I initially saw the facade at waterway terraces, it felt like a JTC, what do you call that? JTC dormitory. But yeah. Anyway, okay. So please let us know if you have any questions. If not, I want to talk a little bit, since we still have some time, I want to talk about which areas in Sengkang, Punggol we have seen prices coming off. Okay, let me just scroll up to our analysis over here. Then Vic can maybe find out some of the areas.
Okay.
Okay, so in Sengkang, we have seen prices softening in the Rivervale Plains and the Fernvale River Grove area. Yeah, we have all the river things add together, right? Rivervale Plains and Fernvale River Grove, we have seen prices softening. Okay, prices are also coming up for areas such as the Compassville Southgate and Anchorvale Isles. We do see prices coming up, but those are for the executive flats and the 5 rooms. Generally, those that are seeing prices coming off are your 4 rooms because the supply is a lot higher. Okay? Yeah, so you can see in this area right? Because just now we touched on this area to be good value for money so that usually when we talk about value for money, it comes from the perspective of the buyers, right? But as a seller, okay, if you are located in this area, Fernvale River Grove area, you got to be careful. Your prices are taking a little bit of a dip. Okay, Rivervale Plains is where?
Rivervale Plains, I believe it's below.
You just Google, yeah. Bakau MRT, LRT the Rivervale Plains cluster, right? 127 all the way to 141. 127 to 141, Sengkang East Way, that area. Yeah, prices.
One of the areas that we covered just now that we said was good value for money.
Yeah, actually it's most of the good value for money one. They are also showing prices softening right? Similarly, in Punggol, it's also the Waterway Terrace area Just now, we have already shown you that prices are softening, right? But interestingly, one of the value for money one, right, the Veranda and Matilda, the 5 room is going up. The 5 room is going up, okay? Nautilus at Punggol, 4 room prices are also going up, okay? So, yeah, anyone have any questions? Please put them down into the chat, any areas that you would like us to analyze, okay? If not, then we will move on to our case study for today. Case study. All right, here. Can. Okay, let me make the as big as we can. Let me make, is it big enough?
I think can be a bit bigger.
All right. Okay. So Another case of a HDB upgrader that I worked with, we worked with earlier this year actually, that was done, okay? So here are the 3 challenges that we faced. This particular, this client of ours, they were looking to upgrade from their 5-room HDB, okay, located in a very central area. I mean, due to the PDPA, also the privacy of our clients, we won't really say where, okay? But it's actually very well located, right beside the MRT in one of the mature towns. Now, the problem with areas like that is that there's very little transactions. So if for those of you who are watching, I mean, be it private and or HDB, prices are driven by valuations, and valuations are driven by transactions, okay? Very much like stocks. Transactions drives volume, volumes drive prices, okay? So that was a huge challenge that we were facing, and especially because the owner, they bought it in the resale market, right? About 8 years back when the prices were a little bit on the high side. So actually learning points from this, if you are looking to buy into a very centrally located HDB area, they are talking about very close to the MRT, got to be aware of the transactions, okay? If it's an area that has very little supply coming in, you cannot depend on the transactions to help you push the price up. Basically, you got to be mentally prepared to not yield the kind of capital appreciation that you see some areas with higher volumes, for example. We're talking about just now the Veranda and Matilda, those kind of areas, for example, okay? I mean, it's quite understandably so. It's not that it's naturally bad. So here's the thing that sometimes people get very frustrated about when we speak to owners. They say, hey, my house so good, beside the MRT, blah, 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 so many amenities and whatnot, right? So good, And it's the exact reason why, because it's so good, then nobody want to sell. People all want to buy. They're hoping to buy, and then they buy now, they don't want to sell. But if nobody sells, then the transactions don't go up. So it's very much likened to private, like a freehold property. People's mindset there like freehold owners, okay? Now, so then that creates a challenge, because the owner felt that due to they are already in a very good place. If they cannot fetch a certain price, they're very resistant to move, and no fault of theirs. That's the thing. At no fault of theirs. It's just lack of transactions in the area. Okay. Second challenge that we have to work with is we wanted to do a back-to-back move into another area, and this is into a private area that also has very low supply, because it's also a quite pretty sought after area, So units in that area, especially good layout ones, they tend to pop up. The one not as jialat as their HDB cluster. Their HDB cluster, one listing come up maybe every 6 months to a year. This condo, this area, they don't want to go to quite a sought after area. Maybe that particular condo, that layout, once every 2 months, I think, a unit will come up. And the issue is that when those units come up, a lot of them have tenancy. Then if you have tenancy, we cannot do a back-to-back move. Then they have to sell before they can buy, because the ABSD now at 20% doesn't really make sense for everybody, because it's an own stay property. The quantum is quite high, so it doesn't make sense for them to decouple to buy as well. So not easy to sell, not easy to buy also. I think, I'm not sure how many of you in the chat face this problem also. Cannot hit this price, I don't want to sell, no point selling. But the area you want to buy, not much supply. So then you say sell first, then buy, then how to deal with the interim. Let's see how we solve this for them, okay? The next part, right? Coming back to the point. There's actually no real urgency for the sellers. I mean, the space was okay for them. They were happy with the space. They were just like, maybe it's time for a change. Is it good time? I mean, the very first question they asked us was like, is it a good time to upgrade? So we did an analysis and we kind of troubleshoot for them. They were in their mid-40s already, okay? Any later, I mean, they do have the intention, and they have been thinking about it, about making this move into private, right, for quite a while. As a matter of fact, the time when they bought the HDB, at that point, they already were thinking, is it HDB better or private better? In the end, this particular unit came up right beside the MRT, so attractive, okay, went for it. at that point in time, right? So this is another potential point to think about, right? Yeah, if you can afford, and if you have the eventual intention to go into the private one, then don't make do with the HDB, right? Just go straight into private, because chances are it will only get harder the longer you wait, because you're not going to get any younger as well. Yeah. Well, but the good thing about their situation, right, is that they were actually pretty open with locations one, right? We did the map, they can cover anywhere in one whole quarter of Singapore one. Yeah, they're very chill, drive and whatnot. One whole quarter of Singapore also okay one. As long as you shade away the extreme corners like Woodlands, Sembawang, Changi, all those extreme corners, cannot. Else they're actually very, very open, right? But sometimes when you're too open, also no good. Very hard to land on something, right? But the more we work together, the more we kind of realize that their heart really only lies in one particular area. But you see, that's why changing houses is actually a very emotional process. As much as, we use the data and whatnot to try to make it as logical as possible, it's very emotional. And when you're stuck like that, sometimes it's the experience, sometimes it's the rapport, the chit-chat to realize actually what they truly want. Okay, actually, they really truly want to be in that one particular area, which is why I say they only want that one. Because as we went around the search, we realized it always comes back down to that particular one property one. So if you're going through a search like for yourself, if you realize you keep deviating back to that one particular property, your first love, then maybe it's just that one already. Then you search and search and search, actually no point. And this one also I got tell them, I say, search and search and search, in the end we come back to the same area, then don't waste time, let's just go there. Right? Sometimes people just because you see the one then is expensive, it's not the ideal one, sometimes got tenancy and whatnot, then you try to open up the options, but you continue to come back to think about that one particular one, okay? So these are kind of the challenges that we had to deal with. Very, very common challenges. Maybe I would say the second and third one perhaps more common. The first one not the most common unless you're in a very centrally located area, okay? Then coming back to our framework on how we usually diagnose and move our clients forward, have them rank out the LGPS, right? LGPS, what? Location, growth, price, and size, okay? So why are they ranked in this manner? All right? So size definitely is important, okay? They wanted to at least keep their current size of their 5-room flat, right? And perfectly understandable, they don't want to compromise, because now the HDB is already going to be fully paid, if I'm not wrong, almost fully paid, great location, right? So if want them to shrink their size, they don't want, perfectly okay. So that's rank 1. Location, well, just like I say, they are happy to go all over the place, but the heart is located in that one particular area, so which is why location is number 2. So it's quite interesting, you see. When they say, I'm not very particular with location, I can consider this here, there, here, there, here, there, but after deeper understanding, in the end, the other location also don't like one. Yeah, so that's why location is number 2, right? So while you rank this out at the start of your search, the ranking can change, which is okay, right? But what is very important is that husband and wife have the same ranking. Husband and wife, different ranking, then very, very hard to move. So actually that is one of our jobs also, to help the husband and wife align. If you find yourself jam at your property search, this is a very obvious problem that you might be facing, that you have different rankings with your partner, your spouse. Okay, to them, capital appreciation, important but not the most important. They want a good size in the location. We shared options on locations or opportunities that can give better capital appreciation. They were not that interested at all. Yeah, which is why the rank for growth is number 3. And lastly, price budget, right? So for them, budget was very, very flexible. They could get some parental help to even stretch all the way to a landed. Yeah, but they didn't really quite landed, personal preferences test, that kind of thing. But at least we know money budget is not really it's the least of their concerns. Primarily, it's 1 and 2. Okay, now moving on. talking about the timeline, so we have the finances done for them, a real quick one. We did the prices is about $1 million. You know, because they are their second owner, they're only looking to get out they're only looking to get out about 100K cash proceeds from the house, because use a lot of OA. They still had about $500,000 in outstanding loan, right? But because they bought resale, the cash proceeds is very, very low. This is another thing that we analyze for them. This cash proceeds due to 300K CPF being used, this one dwindles down very, very quickly. If we sell at 1 million next year, the same price next year, this one can dwindle down to maybe perhaps 95,000 thereabouts, and continue to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle.
Because of the CPF accrued interest that needs to return back to CPF.
Correct, right? Which we have a template. We have a calculator for that. So what you do, you just key in your house price, and then they'll plot it all the way out for you. You continue to hold it 10 years, 5 years, 10 years. You know what is the expected cash proceeds. And cash proceeds is very important. Why? Because when you buy the house, minimally 5% has to be in cash. If you are buying a resale, 5% cash, the buyer's stamp duty will also have to be in cash. So you see, upgrading anything at the 2.5 mil mark, right? You have to fork out close to 200,000 in cash. Thankfully, they have cash savings. But if they were to depend solely on their property cash proceeds for cash out to purchase, this option, upgrading, is then no longer an option available for them. Okay? So if you're hoping to upgrade, you should do on and off your cash proceeds check. Unless you don't deem your house, you don't need, you have a lot of cash on the side, okay? So financial calculations, we won't dive into that a whole lot, right? Because for them, the finances were the least of their concerns. They were very, very clear about that, right? What I want to talk about probably is a little bit more of timeline, okay? So HDB sale timeline, okay? We did this last week, running it through again, because very important for most people. So when you sell your house, the minute you sell, your buyer agree on a price, collect $1,000, 21 days later, the buyer decide to proceed, pay $4,000, okay? For this, we had to submit pretty quickly, okay? And you see why we had to submit it pretty quickly, okay? Once you submit to HDB, they take 35 days to accept. Yeah? And 21 days after they accept, they will issue this HDB approval letter. Why is this important? If for those of you who remember watching last week, you need the HDB approval letter before the completion of your private purchase in order to disburse the bridging loan. Right? What does the bridging loan do? The bridging loan allows you to use all the CPF that is currently stuck inside your original house to help you pay for the 20%. The bank help you pay first, right? After the cash proceeds come out from the house, then you can, the bank will go back to the CPF and settle the outstanding for you, right? This is very, very important to do. Most people, if you want to do a back-to-back, you should use a bridging loan. Okay, you should use a bridging loan if you want to do a back-to-back. So for them, we did a bridging loan, and we also managed to get a 3 months extension. As a matter of fact, they just moved out from their house back-to-back into their new house. We had a chat the other day. Oh, no, actually, we are going to collect. Yeah, they just moved out. We are going to hand over the keys end of the week. So everything went smoothly, okay? Now, on the purchase side, how did we execute this, okay? So what we did, right after the buyer optioned our unit, okay, we went ahead to pay on the other side within a week a 1% option fee. And then we exercised it very, very quickly, okay, so that we have the option to, while we submit to HDB, to execute the extension. Okay, you need to have an option. Then HDB can activate the extension for you. So you cannot just, oh, I say I want an extension and then don't buy a house. If you don't buy a house, the extension is void. don't do any funny business and do private agreement. HDB comes down very, very hard on that. Okay, so first critical juncture when you want to do, you get the option, right? If you want to do back-to-back, obtain a private option, buy a house, exercise it when you submit to HDB, okay? Then you can activate, right? Then we managed to complete the house, 28 Feb. So all in all, but the owner also required an extension, so the owner only moving out 25th April. So all in all, we managed to get them a 55 days time, slightly less than 2 months to renovate. So again, right, when you come to renovation, when you're trying to plan your timing, you need to take note of timings where renovation periods are extended. You're talking about year-end holiday, you're talking about, right? So you are planning your upgrade sometime, now not so bad. Now you stretch 6 months, 9 months, you come right to the end of the year, eating a little bit in the early part of next year. But if you're doing anything later part of the year, you potentially will eat into CNY, and then the one eat up at least 1.5 weeks of your rental period. All of this you need to think about and consider. All of this you need to think about and consider. So which is why our templates and whatnot, we all have this already planned in for our clients. This is what we share with our clients so that they make sure that everything is planned swee lah. Anybody has any questions with regards to the technicalities of a back-to-back move, right? If not, please do help like and share our live video. We'll be still hovering around a little bit for any final questions. Any of the platforms have questions? I'm watching YouTube already. Okay. If not, then thank you guys so much. We have 44 people with us on TikTok. That's a new record for us. And I believe 8 on YouTube. Oh yeah, I shouldn't say all the thing. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back next week, Tuesday. Every Tuesday.
Same time, 9 o'clock.
Same time, 9 o'clock. If you want us to review, your areas, in greater detail versus it being ad hoc, drop us a text. Drop Victoria a text. If you need help selling your house, you want to get a valuation, you have some questions for us, right? Drop us a text right over here. We are happy to help you out even after the live. Okay? If not, see everyone.
All right. Thank
next
you.
week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Stop streaming.